Dave Parody here with another Slide Makeover video podcast based on the ideas in my book, The Visual Slide Revolution. Today's podcast is about, as a presenter, how do you make a list connect with your audience? So let's look at today's slide. It comes from some consulting I was doing last week with a CEO. And in their particular association, they have to talk about to the participants in their association, the firms in their association, here are some of the key issues facing our industry today. And so what they do is they put up this list. And the point that she was trying to make is that there are a lot of issues facing our industry today. And what we need to do is prioritize as an association, as an industry, what we want to focus on in the next year. So what she was doing is she was putting up this long list to try to show how big the list could be and that you can't possibly tackle them all in 1 year or at the same time. So when I looked at it, I said, okay, I understand the point you're trying to make. The challenge is that when somebody sees this much text, it's overload and they just check out. And so they don't necessarily really even understand the point you're making. What I suggested instead is let's have this list connect with the audience so that they understand it in their own context. Here's how I redid the slide. You know, folks, when you come to your desk in the morning, you think about what are the issues I have to deal with. You start to see all these issues piling up on your desk, and you get overwhelmed and you go, whoa, I can't handle all that. Well, what we need to do is we know we can't focus on all of these. What we need as an association is to focus on just the highest priority issues. So what I did in the makeover is I gave the audience a context, something that was real for them, their desk. They come in the morning, they can feel that emotionally, they get that, and then they start to see all of the papers representing each of these issues piling up on their desk. And they know how that feels. It just feels overwhelming when your desk is covered and you just don't know where to start. So, what are some of the lessons before we get to the lessons you can learn? If you want to learn more about the book, of course, you can go to visualsliderevolution.com. More information on my training, consulting, videos, and other resources, you can go to my website at ThinkOutsideTheSlide.com. So the lessons that we can learn from this makeover about how as a presenter we can make a list connect with the audience. First of all, we need to determine why this list is being used. In this particular case, what the CEO was trying to do is to show an overwhelming number of items in the list. And that is one of the uses of a list, but there are others as well. If you are using a list because here are maybe all of the activities we take on, go back to one of the other makeovers that I've done in the past and look at the sort of grouping all of those items into categories. Present the category, and then have a separate slide for each list under that category, sort of a breakdown and zoom in type of idea. But make sure you're clear on why you're using the list, because otherwise you don't know how to make it better. Then, in this particular case, we were using a list for an overwhelming set of issues we have to address. Use real visuals. So what I did is I drew a picture that looked like a desk. The fill color was actually a pattern that looked like wood grain, so that it was real for them. They saw themselves sitting at their own desk, and then the pieces of paper, I drew each of those, had the issue on it, and I stacked them up with animation so that it looked like all these pieces of paper were piling up. Now it's real. They can relate to it. They feel it. And that's when they actually get it, is when you can make it emotional for them. And so choose how you're going to build it. Again, it depends on the point you're going to make. In this case, I wanted it to feel overwhelming, so that's why I had it come on one at a time and scattered across the desk. You may have it where you maybe need, okay, a stack for one, a stack for another. There's different ways to build it, but part of redoing the slide is not just what it looks like, but how it comes on. And so choose the correct animation based on the point you want to make. I hope this has been helpful for you. This is Dave Parody with another Slide Makeover video podcast.